woke up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds perched on my doorstep, singing sweet song, melodies pure and true, singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I woke up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds perched on my doorstep, singing sweet song, melodies pure and true, singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing.
It actually stays really good. It stayed my whole show. It's something about
About a thing. Don't worry about a thing.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'd love to invite you to find your seats this morning. I know there's a huge buzz in the air and lots of food and lots of faces that we haven't seen, but they're coming out probably because of the food. That's what food will do. To Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. My name is Michelle. And again, I'll invite you to go. There we go. That's how it works. I'll start over. Welcome to Spiritual Living Kauai. My name is Michelle May, and I'm going to share with you some of the great things that we've got going on today. First of which, of course, is our beautiful Easter brunch that's going to happen directly after service. So we invite everyone to stay for that. There's always tons and plenty of food, so please stay for that. And we usually have what we call Wrap with the Revs on the first Sunday of every month, but because of our Easter celebration, we'll actually be holding that next Sunday. So please feel free to stay after service with us then. Now, we do have a change. We were going to be doing the Abundance 2 project, a new story, and we still will be doing that, but it's going to be in May now. So the new dates are May 9th, 16th, and 23rd. So there is still a sign-up sheet. There'll be new flyers made, but the dates have just been corrected. So if you are wanting to do that, it's 3 consecutive Wednesdays for 2 hours, and it's a continuation of something that we did last month, but you don't have to have done that one to be able to attend this, and you can come to 1, 2, or all 3 of them. But we did want to let you know that we have postponed it so you can save the dates in May. Now, the men are having the Mindful Men's Bowling on April 7th at noon. There's also a sign-up sheet, or you can see Glenn, if you don't mind waving your arms or standing up, actually, about the men. And, of course, it's at the bowling alley in Lihui. It's because it's, yes, the one and only. And that's going to be at noon. But do sign up because they are going to be saving some lanes so that when you show up, you have a place to bowl. But it's a great way for you all men to get together. Us ladies do a lot of our own things, so we'll let the men have their fun. And then another save the date for a few weeks from now, April 20th, is going to be the flying solo performance. I know we're very excited. We are midway through. For those of us who are actually taking flying solo, we're creating our pieces now, and we're going to be performing 10-minute people plays, because there's men and women. And so it's open to everybody, and we would love your support and your love as we share a little bit of ourselves with you. So enjoy your service. I'm going to introduce Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick.
Aloha, everyone. Yay.
Wow, you look beautiful today, by the way.
Thank you. Yay. So do all of you.
Very Eastery.
Everyone looks gorgeous today. Everybody's
Yes.
walking in with all these different beautiful colors and looking like springtime. So thank you for being here today. And I don't have the mic in my hand, and it's really weird. But I decided to do this today. I want to be new today. So the first thing that we like to do here at Center for Spiritual Living is to light our peace candle and take a moment to recognize the eternal truth that peace begins right where we are and nowhere else. Right where we are and ripples out from there. We do not look for it on the outside, we look for it within and know that it ripples to the outside from there. So let's just take a moment to center ourselves in our heart, take a deep breath, and recognize the peace that we are. And so it is.
It is very odd to not have her with this mic, because she doesn't have her mic. Oh,
So you know what? It's like about change. You do something different and it
Yeah.
feels uncomfortable for a moment, but then you just relax into it. So
That's right.
so welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. And we recognize that there is a thing called the science of mind and spirit, which we call today quantum physics. And it's, am I going in and out?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I'll have to switch over. We'll see. No, hold on. It's going to work. Doesn't work, I'll go back. We have a backup. Anyway, so where we practice the science of mind and spirit, and we also call it quantum physics because it's really the same thing. It's the same thing. And the more I read the science of mind textbook and then read my quantum physics thing, I go, wow, okay, it's all the same. And I think all the mystics throughout the ages have taught the same thing, and that is that there is a power and presence that lives within each of us, that it's eternal, that it's the changeless, but we're always changing. Because we get to change because we have thoughts and creativity and that divine mind that listens to us within us and then just projects out into the world what we think and what we feel. So there you go. That's as simple as it gets. That's as simple as it gets.
This will make me feel so much better.
Yeah.
Because my beautiful, beautiful co-spiritual director who's Italian and loves to use his hands.
You're going to
I'm
see
sitting
my
over there
hands a
like the
lot more
father
today.
going, oh my God, it's the white thing, get it away from me. So who is here for the very first time? Lots, I know.
Hey, I see you
Look
guys
who's
at
here.
birth. I
We have
see
Diane and Steve from the mainland who we definitely know that it's your first time here, but it's not the first time that we've seen you. So welcome, welcome,
Welcome to
welcome.
all our first
So
timers.
put your hands up again just so we can see you, because we have
Wow.
some information about each and every one of you that we'd like to share with everyone, if you don't mind. And who should we start with? No, actually, how about all of them? Let them know who they are. You are magnificent. Woo! Isn't that a relief to know that that's all we know about you? Yeah, thumbs up. There you go. And the reason we know that about you is because we know it about ourselves, right? So shall we say it all together? I am magnificent. And if you'll look behind you, there's this camera that's staring at us. It's live streaming us. Remember what used to happen at CSL Kauai stayed there? Well, it doesn't any longer, because it is out in the world and we are being live streamed thanks to you, Rob. We are very happy, but there's a lot of people watching.
Can I say a special
yes.
hello? I want to say a special hello to Kelly Ensign, because she's moving to the island and she's watching today, and she'll be with us next Sunday.
Oh,
Yay.
and everybody watches. So let them know who they are. You are magnificent. Now look to your left, to your right. Look somewhere and let somebody know. Let somebody know.
Thank you. And you look magnificent in that dress.
Wow, listen to all that magnificence going on in this room. Wow, it's a buzz, man. It's a buzz. All right, so why does everyone stand up with that magnificence, and we'll have our opening song, which is in your program.
Hopefully. It's a new one.
A new one.
A new one. I think.
We are ever opening. Love is healing everything. We are ever opening. Rising up to spread our wings. We're all one in love. We're all one in love. All that we're made of reveals here in love. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine.
So what I know right here and right now is that we are shining brightly on this beautiful morning. I know we are here together for one thing and one thing only, and that is to recognize our magnificence, recognize the magnificence in each and every one of us, in each other, to see with the eyes of love, to see with the eyes of light, and to know that that is the true seeing. The true seeing is when we see with those eyes of the soul that look out and just see goodness, just see love, just see that power and presence everywhere, surrounding us, infusing us, and just moving, living and breathing through every moment. So I know that today we rise our consciousness even higher into that place of knowing, and that we are here together to celebrate, and I am grateful for it. I'm grateful for each and every person here and for everything that unfolds moment by moment by moment as the service progresses into our potluck and beyond. So let's just have at it. And so it is.
We are ever opening. Love is healing everything. We are ever opening. Rising up to spread our wings. We're all one in love. We are rising up. We're made up. We're just here in love. Let your light shine, let your light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine.
Yeah. Let it shine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I'm here to bring you into meditation, a quiet time. My name is Roseanne Jones, and I'm a certified CSL practitioner. And I have a quote today from Meister Eckhart, one of my favorites. If you don't know him, he's a great one. His quote is, "Be willing to be a beginner every single morning." So as you relax and breathe into this moment, get settled in your chairs, take a couple deep breaths and let them out. And let's go into that private space where we can listen to the voice of God. Be willing to be a beginner every single morning. And as you open your eyes and come back into this room, I stand in front of you knowing the truth that there is a power and presence in this universe and we can use it. This is the power and presence that I call God. This is the power that started everything in the universe and created the planets and the stars and the life forms all throughout the universe and created everything on this beloved planet of ours called Earth and created the rocks in the ocean and the creatures big and small. And this is the power that infuses everything, everybody. This power infuses me as I stand here expressing to each person here and far away. This power infuses each of us with all the good in the universe. And so may the power be always there. It is always there, and knowing the truth that the peace of God is right here, right in each of us, that the prosperity of God, that the love of God, that the consciousness of God is right here, right now, in this space, in each of us. The health of God, the perfect unfoldment, the divinity of God is right here, right now, in this space, in each one of us and in each person far away. And I am so grateful for knowing that all we need to do is claim it. And that's what I do here today, is I claim it for myself, I claim it for each person. So, with great gratitude, I know that all is good, all is well, and that this day of renewal begins not just on Easter Day, but begins every day. So I release my word into that law of God that always says yes, as I invite you to affirm with me. And so it is.
Chance in the program.
Peace like a river, peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river and it flows like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean and it flows like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain and it flows like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river, peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river and it flows like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Say one thing to anyone that's in the back, Malamatuna. There are 3 seats up here. I see people looking for seats. There are 3 up here.
And then 1, 2.
And right here. So just, yeah.
There's
so
5 seats
Just
up
so
here.
people will know. And you'll be right here in front. Right here. Right here.
So, Wow. It's Easter Sunday. It's Passover weekend. It's April Fool's Day. How did that happen? I think it's funny. I really do. I think it's great. I never liked April Fool's Day much, though. Do you guys? Yeah. Oh. Okay. Well, we're all entitled to our own opinions. Maybe it's because I had some like yucky jokes played on me, and I didn't think it was very funny. Anyway, I'm a very literal person. If you don't know that about me, I kind of take things literally. So anyway, but I'm not here to talk about April Fool's Day. I'm here to talk about being a beginner. Today is, and I love that quote, Roseanne. Thank you. Yeah, what if we could wake up every day and just be a beginner? And that's what Easter to me is all about. It's about new beginnings. We called our talk All Things New today. And sometimes it's not easy to be a beginner when you think you know everything, right? I've been there. I do that all the time. And then I have to just step back. And my mentor always used to say, I know nothing, now what can I know? And to me, that's like really, really powerful. And I've been practicing that a lot lately. In the Science of Mind and Spirit, as far as Easter's concerned, we believe it's the resurrection of our I am spirit, as is shown through Jesus Christ, the Christ, who is the great way shower and the great example of what love is and what life is. And so we celebrate that presence and that life and that love within each and every one of us. And so we don't really celebrate the holiday in the same way, but we do celebrate. We celebrate all the time. And one thing I noticed about our philosophy is that pretty much anybody can feel comfortable here because we're not really a religion in that sense. We celebrate, there's so many different people in Science of Mind, Jewish, Hindu, Sufi, I mean, it goes on. And pretty much anybody can feel comfortable here because what we like to know is that everybody is an individualized expression of that one creative intelligence that's just one thing. So, and it's in and within each of us, and however we decide to express it, whichever, spiritual way we decide to express it is our own, and we can only know what we know. So, I've been working on being a beginner, as I've been thinking a lot on death this month because of my mother's making her transition when she chooses to make it, because it doesn't. I don't know when that's going to be, and I was trying to know that I would know when that was going to be, but each person goes through that. Who is this? Hello, yay, it's Lolita, and I didn't even, hi, this is my hairdresser, by the way, okay. And her friend, her sidekick, okay. I love it. Isn't that funny? I didn't even see them. I must gotta go, whoa, they must have had a bubble around them or something. Until I saw them. Anyway, where the heck was I? Oh, I was talking about my mother. Okay. Anyway, so I've had to move myself into a new way of being about this because it's just not at all what I choose to have it be or expect it to be or think it's my job to make it be. And I'm just relaxing into it. And so to some people, I might seem like I don't care about my mother or something, but I totally care about her and I totally love her. And I got to spend a lot of good time with her about a month and a half ago. And I almost got on a plane today to go because I thought I should be there. And then I realized, no, I got real clarity that I don't need to be there right now. And it's an interesting trip, and I know that any of us that have been through it know what I'm talking about, and it's different for everybody, right? So I'm accepting that, and I'm learning how to be a beginner every day in that. And I'm also learning how, and this has a lot to do with Easter, because it's interesting, the whole chapter, and I'm going in and out again. Am I all right? I'm going to get me another microphone so I don't lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way we won't be thinking.
Is this going to screw that up? No, it won't. Okay. So, now I lost my train of thought. God, a beginner. I'm beginning about this thing called death, because the whole chapter this month in the Science of Mind textbook, because I use the daily readings, was immortality. Duh. I mean, I couldn't believe it. That's the chapter. And it seems like whenever that chapter comes up and it comes up usually every March, there's always something going on that I need to know something about that. And Ernest Holmes wrote this quote in there that I just love. It says, "Death is overcome, not by dwelling upon it, but by contemplating eternal life. It is the belief of the writer," that would be him, "that should one become completely unconscious of death and all fear of it, one would never know that he died, even though he went through the experience of passing from this life to the next. Death would be swallowed up in life." I think that's, oh, an angel just got their wings. I think that's like a really beginner concept. That's like a really different way of looking at it. Because if we and so when I think about the story of Jesus and the resurrection, all that, do I know if it's true? I'm sorry if there's any like Christians in the audience, but I don't really know if it's true because I wasn't there. I can only know what I know from what I feel and what I know. And I can only know about death and life and eternal life from what I know. And Ernest Holmes says that in his book. He says, we can't know like what another person knows until we know it. And when we know it, we know it. So people will say, oh, well, how can you talk about, death? You've never been through it. But you can, because you can know it, because you can feel it. You can feel whatever the experience is. You can feel it. So once you feel whatever that is thing you want to know, you know that you know it. Does this make sense? Or you follow me? So this thing with this quote, I want to live this quote. And I would invite us to think about that, to think about living our life to the so full that when the time comes that we pass over, whatever that means, that we pass over with such fullness of life that we don't have to ever look back and have one regret. I don't want to have one regret. There's a lady that we just found out, one of our colleagues just passed, and we were like in shock. It came on, you find so much stuff out on Facebook. And she was, the last time I saw her, she was vibrant. I don't know what the story of her passing is, but she did say, and she's young, like she's in her late 60s, she said, I've done all I needed to do, and I'm ready to go. So sometimes I think it could be that simple, right? We've done all we needed to do, and we need to go. Now, I'm not telling you I'm leaving anywhere soon, but because I sure have a lot to do. But I think that what it does to me is just awakens in me the idea that I just have to live my life even fuller. That I don't want to have one thing that I said, oh, I was going to do that, and I didn't do it. Whether it's to write a book and get it published, even if I have to publish it myself, which I did. Thank God for Create Space. Even if it's, if I need to go take a trip somewhere, whatever it is that I want to do or start something. Oh, the kids program. This is like so awesome. We received this wonderful grant from the Stanley Foundation. We tried to start this kids program, and it wasn't working. It just they weren't coming, the teenagers. But we said, you know what, we'll just change the age. We changed the age to 9 through 12, and they all showed up. And yet we had our first day on Friday, and I thought, this is something Patrick and I have always wanted to do, to have a school in the center. And we saw one of the kids at the supermarket yesterday. And I went, oh, and you looked at us, and anyone that's a teacher, you know that thing when you see your student in the somewhere outside the classroom. I felt like we had a school. It just was a moment. I went, oh my God, we have a school. It might only meet once a week on Fridays, but we have a school. That's something we always want to do. You just keep working on it, and then it manifests itself in strange ways. You can't get out of get in the way of how it's going to happen. You never know. So that's the other thing. You never know. So I don't know. I just want to invite everybody to just live their life to the fullest. I know my mother lived her life to the fullest. It might have not been the fullest that I would have lived my life, but she lived her life to the fullest, take my word. And I understand why she's leaving now, because that fullest that she lived is no longer capable for her, and she needs to leave. So that's the way I want to look at it. And I also know that I don't totally understand this thing called death, but Reverend Suzanne told this story. Is she here today? And I hope I get it right. But it was a metaphor for the metaphysical story of Jesus when he was hanging on the cross and the two guys were next to him, the two thieves. And one asked him, was he going to make it to heaven? And the other one was like, so sorry for his sins and all this stuff. And Jesus said something like, this day you are with me in heaven. And that is what it is. Heaven is right here. And one guy was saying, am I going to make it there in the future? And the other one was saying, I'm so sorry, I did all these bad things, I'll never make it. And he just said, the great master teacher just said, no, it's right here, it's right now, and you're with me right here and right now. And whatever you believe about Jesus, I believe in the things he taught, and that's what we teach here is the things that he taught. And the great masters, all the great masters taught. And I think that's really profound because we can live heaven in every single solitary moment because it isn't a place we go to. It's a place we live. And it is right here. And I feel it when I'm with all of you. And when I'm in this, I just feel it. I just feel it. I know that's where we already are. And the only thing keeping us from it, if we don't feel that when I'm saying it, is because there's something in our life that we need to let go of and embrace ourselves in a deeper way, in a more profound way, and realize that's why we say I am magnificent every Sunday, because we have to keep remembering that, because if we don't remember how magnificent we are, we're going to go off like the guy on the cross that was saying, please forgive me my sins, my sins. There's no sins. Sins are only little mistakes that we make of forgetting who we are. That's all they are. They're nothing, and they don't need to be forgiven. We're the only ones that need to just live who we are fully and completely. So that's my Easter message. I didn't really know what I was going to say when I got up here. Even though I had so many blank pages when I was sitting at the computer and so many I don't know because what am I going to talk about? But it's a miracle. It's life, and that's what I want to say is just, and I'm just be a beginner every day. Thank you, Roseanne, again. Meister Eckhart, thank you. Be a beginner. These people have been telling us this forever and ever and ever. And I think from what I can see happening on this planet, that is finally starting to sink in. And that is really awesome. It's finally starting to sink in. We can see it all around us. So happy Easter, and be a beginner, and live life to the fullest. Mahalo. And I have a song, I think. We'll see how it goes. No. My song. Yours is next. It's all right.
I would love to see how you were going to sing.
I know. Well, maybe she knows it, but I think we got it over there. Oh, God. I don't know why I'm frightened. Wait.
Rise and look around you, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the thrill of your being outshines every star. You feel part of every mountain, sea, and shore. You will hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. And on that clear day, on that clear day, you can see forever and ever more.
We're going to sing it again, so you can sing with me. Yes.
On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound far and near, a world you never heard before. And on that clear day, on that clear day, let's see, forever and ever and ever and ever. I love clarity. Let's be clear.
Oh, my. I felt like I was like on some TV program that was like, I thought there would be like dancers coming down the beginning of the, wow. And I didn't see them, did I? Wow, there's quite a little vibe in here today, is there not? It feels good, it feels good. Just taking you all in for a minute. You're just beautiful. How many times do you get told on a daily basis that you're beautiful? I was saying the other day to wake up in the morning and just take a moment to say, I am so proud of myself. I am so proud of me. And I said that to somebody, and they said it looked a little foreign, right? It's like, I said, just think if we got up every morning and we don't even have to look in the mirror, you know. Sometimes that can be, you know, a little bit in the morning, but not that I care about those type of things, but I'm just saying that to take some time to start new again, just to say, I'm proud of me. We can list the faults all day long, everything that we're not quite doing right or the stuff that isn't quite getting to where it needs to get to. But yeah, nice vibe. Ernest Holmes says, our contention is not that dead men live again, but that a living man never dies. It's kind of right on the heels of what Rita was talking about. It's interesting when you're talking on Easter because, you know, especially in New Thought, you try to stay away from the J word, you know. Jesus, don't talk about him, you know, because it's New Thought. And you know what? You know me by now. Do you think I care? No. But what I do not. I'm not afraid to use it because there's a lot of stories that are very good. And this one, I remember all the years. This is our 5th Easter, and I remember one of them was the roll away the stone, the metaphor for that. And I was thinking about this April Fool's, and I was thinking about all of the millions of people that are gathering today all over the world to celebrate this thing called the resurrection, right? And I'm thinking, wow, April Fool's. How did that... No, I said April Fool's. And what an interesting thing, because I took myself to a place that I really want you to hear today, because it's about storytelling. Because I don't really care about the story. I care about what the story means to me. And we can attach any story we want to this day. Any story that's going on in your life. Attach a story to it. This story's been told for over 2,000 years. There's been a Holy Week, and I went to Catholic school for all of you, so I don't need any gasping. I know all about the stories. I know about them, and I love them. And this little boy called Patrick used to think of Holy Week as his personal, parade. Because I knew it well, and I've been thinking a lot about this little boy who was raised in this kind of this Catholicism. And you never want to take away anyone's God until you've got something better to give them. So these people that are gathering today, I thought of myself when Good Friday was there, and I remember that little boy, really sad because we had the day off, but you weren't to enjoy it because between 12 and 3 he was crucified. And we were told that, it's okay, but it's between 12 and 3. So, I don't know about you, I took it real seriously. So, we're out playing, and all my friends that weren't Catholic, they're out there playing. I'm thinking, oh, wow, it's 12:30. It's 12:30, 1. That's a story. That's a story. And I was very, there was a part of me that was a little nervous today because I wrote a blog about the idea that what happens if everything that I believed, all of a sudden it was I was punked and it was prank. And it was like, what happens if everything I ever believed about anything? That little boy believed that story. But this man does not believe the story the same way that he does today. And I'm not afraid to say that. Now, if I was at St. Michael's, I might be a little bit afraid to say it a little bit differently. But here's the deal. I don't care, and I've said this many times, if this Easter story is correct, but I know something about my own personal life, that I have been crucified many, many times. Self-crucified. I have been crucified, and I have always risen. And that's what I think the message is. It's powerful. It is powerful that no matter what, and we're acting like this one crucifixion is, look at your lives. Look at the things we've been through. And we've been able to say, I still love. I'm still bigger than that. That you can't kill me. That's what the other message is. Because I never died. I'm always alive. And I'm thinking of that whole idea, how powerful, if we really listen to the message, and I'm thinking, what's the big shock? I was thinking about how much we try to prove that something isn't right. Like I read the Jesus conspiracy, and I read all of the things that are, this couldn't have happened, he married Mary Magdalene. I mean, the list goes on. But once again, so what? Why don't we prove what's right? Why don't we prove that the resurrection is true? As a matter of fact, I'm looking at all of you today, and you've already practiced the resurrection. You went to bed last night, and you got yourselves up this morning. You rolled the stone away. You're here, right now. Right? I don't know about you, but I don't always remember when I go to sleep at night, it's like dying. Especially if I've had a really rough day, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about the resurrection. I was watching Once Upon a Time. Has anybody ever watched it? Wow, it's like... So, Isha, you and I and Rita will get together. Anyway, it's a magical show, but there was this one moment that made me think of Easter. And she was new. This girl was new to her magic. It's all about... I love the metaphor. It's about whether or not do you use your magic for good? You got it. It's kind of like us. We have all the power. Do we want to use it for good, or do we want to get our way? And there's one character that always says, there's always a price to pay, dearie. Always a dearie. But what I liked is this girl was so frustrated. She was trying to work her magic, but her mama took her magic away from her. So here's the deal. This is storytelling. On Easter, who would think? So she's like, got a rock over there, and she's trying to move it with her mind, right? And it's going really up really little, and she's so frustrated because she can't make her magic work the way she wants to. Sound familiar? You ever tried to work your magic? Not quite working the way you want to. You know what you want, and it keeps going down, keeps going down. So she gets a little help. She gets a little help with her magic. Wow. And I was thinking of this idea of magic, and that this idea about resurrection, and that we're able to take that power. That's all we're talking about. We have a power that lives within us that we get to use. And it can certainly move more than a little rock. But we're all at a different level of learning, are we not? In the story of Jesus, he rolled the stone away. And I love it, because then you tell somebody, yeah, it was really the guards, they were paid. But do you see, they moved it, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, we spend a lot of time trying to prove a story, and how addicted to our stories we become. I thought of a story that I've told about my past. I know that none of you do this, but you crawl back into your past, And I remember telling a story to myself, and I don't admit this to too many people, but I've been telling the story for a long time, and you know it is not the same story that I started with. And then it made me think of all these stories, and I was thinking, I told this story, and then I'm wondering, because, you make it more dramatic each time, a simple little thing. And I had a pretty rough childhood, but it's much rougher as I continue to tell the story year after year. I mean, wow. And I said, Patrick, did that even really happen? Because I talk to myself that way. Bishop John Shelby Spong, all that name, right? He said this, and I want us to kind of get into it for a moment. But life that transcends every human limit is a powerful portrait. But life that transcends every human limit is a powerful portrait. I think to myself, what kind of portrait are we drawing of our lives? Death, which opens all things to new possibilities. Love, which triumphs over hatred. Being, which overcomes non-being. Those are truths to which Easter points, and those are the truths that emerge when God is met on the edges and at the limits of finite humanity. That's that precipice. Let's hear it again. Energy points and those are the truths that emerge when God is met on the edges and at the limits of our finite humanity. This is where we're at. We're pulling it together now. It's something that's always been there. We're starting new. I love the idea of starting your morning, right? Not thinking you know it all. God, I want to know it all. Don't you sometimes? Because when I know it all, I feel safe. Right? That's it. That's the same thing. When we're going through her mother's wonderful transition, I can see and feel the family, but everybody wants to know, right? We want to be on top of it. I want to know when, where, how. And it's really interesting about life because it says no. I always loved it when Jesus prayed. We have 5 steps in treatment. 5. He only needed 2. I'm going to write a book someday that's called That Power of One. We're only going to need 1 step. 1 step. But his was this. When he would stand in front of a tomb and just for, pull out somebody that had already died, and he would stand before it, and I love that idea, and his own tomb, the old stone rolled through, and he would just say, "Thank you, thank you. Now get up. Thank you. Now get up." We make it a little complicated. At least I do. Nobody in this room, but I make it a little complicated. We're trying so much to find out how to demonstrate, right? How do we get the things that we want in life? And that is by becoming him. Thank you. Why is he saying thank you? Because there's no doubt. There's no fear. There's no crossing his fingers. Going, wow, I'm going to really look bad if he doesn't come out of his tomb. Have you ever been there? Oh, yes, you have. That's why you're laughing. Because you've been like, this has got to work. This has got to work. I'll end in one of our demonstrations of our home. It's such a popular subject now. Because it's like, tick, 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 tick. You got 2 months. Find your home yet? No. And then we went to look at a home, and we went in and we went, oh, there it is. No, it's not quite what we want. And then you have that thing inside of you that's going, you better take it. You better take it. There's room for your cats, too. You better take it. And we're looking at each other because of what we know. God, sometimes it's hard to know. Sometimes you want to do that. Just tail out. Just go. go. So anyway, back to this home, this drama of the home. I bet you guys will be so happy when we get one, so we don't have to talk about it every weekend, right? But actually what I'm doing is networking. Spiritual networking. Okay, so here's the deal, folks, about this home. This home is only because it is taking every spiritual fiber I have, because I'm like, April 1st. That's really close to June 1st. And I'm going, and then when Rita goes, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's really our home. And I'm going, well, I kind of like it. No, we're negotiating, aren't we? And then I'm thinking of Jesus. He didn't negotiate. He just said, thank you. Get out. Come on, let's go. So this whole home thing I've demonstrated. I know the reason we're doing it is so that I can prove the principle, because what's happening is it's getting close now. It's April 1st, April Fools. And we went in this house, and it actually was really beautiful. I mean, it had stairs. It was kind of like a dynasty feel, And Rita goes, it's not really Hawaiian enough, do you think? No, it's not really Hawaiian, but it's a big house. We want a big house. No, it's not Hawaiian. So we are continuing on. It's not Hawaiian. And I would agree with her on that. But how this is about resurrection, I couldn't even begin to tell you. But it is, though, because it is starting new, and it is about renewing your faith constantly. You really have to believe. So on my saga of the last part of this story is, Rita has this thing that she does when you get afraid, especially of flying. Because what are you afraid of when you fly? If you ever had fear, you're afraid it's not going to fly, right? So you're like, every bump, you go through it. So Rita said, well, what I did was I just took myself to the ultimate worst possible scenario. And so I said, well, let's do that. So the other morning, I listened to Rita, and I said, why don't you take it to your worst possible scenario? It's May 31st, and you don't got a place to go. You're all packed up with no place to go. And I took it all the way there and took it all the way to the worst part. And I'm thinking, there is no worst part. Who am I working with? If I'm not standing up here every day and every Sunday talking about a power that lives within me that I get to trust more than anything else, what's my problem? Right? But easier said than done at times, right? So I have a new resurrection within myself that says, you know what? Trust. You can trust. And I also have another voice that says, remember when you were a kid, the 11th hour? It always came at the 11th hour, right when you were... And I go, I don't do that. And the reason that our home is not exactly where it needs to be is because, once again, I'm not appreciating the home in which I'm living in right now. My friend left last Thursday for whatever reason when she transitioned. What am I worried about? June 1st, man? Today is April 1st. The entire life, everything exists right here for us, right here and right now. Wow. Easter message. When I was a little boy, I used to always watch those priests up there, and I used to think, wow, they have to do this every Easter. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? And that little boy said, I'm going to be a priest when I grow up. So glad I took that left turn that didn't go there. But now, pretty close, wouldn't you say? Pretty close. So our agreement with one another is this. Today's it. This moment is it. And this is what I know for each and every one of you. I know that whatever's going on in your life right now, and I mean whatever's going on, it's beautiful. And it's conditions. And you can overcome anything. There is not a cross in the world that you have to carry. That's a story. And it's a beautiful one. And if it's the absolute truth, I honor that. And if it's not, I honor that. It's time to put down the cross. I read the other day, it was so sad to me, that said, don't celebrate your Easter that much without forgetting about Friday. And I don't think that was any master's message to give to us. What I feel it said is, I've done that. I've done it. Put your cross away and live your resurrection. Live. I did this. If the story was true, what a waste. What a waste to think that it was done for the purpose of us living life to the fullest. And yet we said, I will, right after I stay on Friday. Get out of the past. Stay right here in the present. And find us a home. Oh, I had you, didn't I? You guys were all like, oh, this is so good. And find us a home. I love you. I love you. Happy Easter. Happy new beginnings. Happy everything today. Namaste.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Oh, you're such a blessing. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. All right, everyone.
It's our time of affirmative giving, and we have an affirmation that we like to say.
And thank you in advance for everything that is donated here, and consciousness and finances, all of it. It's all wonderful, and it's all going to good use every day.
Yes.
So you can be assured of that. So turn to your program and take whatever you are giving and put it on your heart and really recognize what these words mean. For you, I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life and the world. And so it is. Yeah. Join us in the Karen Drucker song, I Am So Blessed.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am
I am so blessed, and CSL Kauai is so blessed for the consciousness that is in these baskets and that comes from afar through other sources. So mahalo, mahalo, and knowing that all of this consciousness is a flow of good, of God, coming into the baskets and going out back into the world. And I say mahalo, and so it is. So it is.
All right. That was interesting. Okay, thank you.
We've had a lot of interesting moments today. We have indeed. Just a couple of things, Rita, before we, first of all, over here, you see this is our wonderful building fund, and it is growing again. We empty it out and count it, and then we just keep adding on. So we're only, I think, about 3.5 million away, but we're almost right there.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
And and it'll be a perfect place for our home.
Yeah.
But also
have
another
some
thing,
children.
we have some potluck rules, just to let you know. I mean, there's not rules of what you eat or anything like that. We're not going to be watching that. But we are on a complaint-free zone here, so there's no complaining. So that'll be interesting for the potluck. But here's the deal. When we are singing our last song, everybody needs to stay where they're at. Because a lot of times we think, what a great opportunity to get to the table. And I'm all for that, except
They're not
for today.
ready. Except for they're not ready.
And they're not ready. And so what we want to do is honor them, because last time we just had everybody got in line, and there's nothing wrong with that, except for today. We're not going to do that. So we're going to stay here. We're going to finish our song, and then Reverend Suzanne, will you wave your hand? Reverend? She will be at the end of the table, and then she'll be able to say when we're beginning. How about that?
How about that? Do we have any children today?
And do we have children today?
Yes. Are we bringing them up here? Oh, they're having an egg hunt.
Oh, they're having an egg hunt.
So we will
Okay.
just send our love out to them by.
Yes?
Yes. Oh.
More
That
rules.
would be the whole room almost.
Well, line up. So that means everybody's at the table. No, I'm just,
That means I go. All right.
Okay.
I think we better skip
I think we
that
got
one,
the
Ron.
rules. Anyway, just go for it. No, I'm
Go
just kidding.
for Okay, so let's just send our blessing to all the children in the world, okay? Because I want to say it, even though they're not here. Because in mind, everything is known. You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you, children, wherever you are.
They're on an Easter egg hunt. How cool is
How
that?
great is that? Okay, so also up here we will have our practitioners. Those that are serving today, please come forward. Reverend Diane, Roseanne, anyone else? And Rob will be here in a moment. Okay, and
There you
Deborah
go.
Van Dete. Okay, great. So what we do, for those of you who've never been here before, our practitioners in service here are here to do treatment work with you. Should you have something that came up for you or something you want known for you, it's affirmative prayer that we do. We pray the solution. So you just come up to them and say, you know what? I'm having a little problem with my finances right now, whatever. And they're going to know the spiritual truth behind that for you. And it's quick and easy, and just take advantage of them. And if you want something more fuller than that, then you need to have a session, and you can talk to them about that. We do spiritual counseling here and sessions. All right. So that being said, I think that's it.
Yep.
Right? All
You
right.
ready?
I think we're ready to close out.
Good.
All right.
So there's everybody on your feet, if you choose.
Close out and eat. I love this song.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
So what I know in this bright, shiny day that we have come together on purpose. As I look at these wonderful Easter bonnets, as I'm looking out, and just know that we have come here from a place of absolute joy, absolute love, and we have come here on purpose. So I am so grateful for everything that has transpired here today, everything that will transpire from this moment to the next moment to the next moment. And I am very grateful for a few people that I would love to just put on this gratitude train, and that is Michelle, who always gives our announcements something so filled with energy. And our Malama team today, which is Angela, Sue, and Sabina. We just say thank you for your wonderful presence. And Roseanne, the wonderful quote, there you are, she's behind me. And here are the kids, and I'm grateful for them as well. So bring them on up. I say, oh, look who's here. So we do love you. We do love you. And we know that you're going to be sharing everything that you got in that Easter egg hunt. And so what I know is that we are live streaming. We are not a secret anymore, thanks to Rob back there. And we are not silent anymore, thanks to Jonathan back there with sound. And we have our wonderful hospitality with Ron Stover at the head of it and everybody else. And I know Charles was back there early this morning getting things ready. So we say mahalo, mahalo. And the bookstore and our beautiful, beautiful Maria, Christina, and Louise pounding the weight of our absolute hearts. And Janice right here with our wonderful children. And we just say happy Easter to you and to George, who absolutely bring this this wonderful energy of childlike wonder to this place. And as I look out at the rest of the children, I just say thank you. You are filled with childlike wonder that never leaves. We are the ageless. We are the ageless, and we are the miracle. So, knowing that, I just say thank you, thank you, thank you. I release my word knowing that it has already said yes long before I even began. And so we just let that be. We let it go as together we say, and so it is.
Look all around, nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.